What would you do if you were in our shoes? If you were in all the other families' shoes that are faced with this?
Questions can keep you up at night. For these parents, it's the answer to their fight for justice that has them tossing and turning.
What am I going to tell my daughter?
We agreed to interview them anonymously. Their daughter is a minor and a victim of sexual assault. And after what she's been through, they want to protect her identity.
The individual we had trusted to watch our child would touch her inappropriately, would do sexual activities inappropriately.
Robert Dixon, a relative, was accused of sexually assaulting their daughter repeatedly when she was between the ages of 7 and 10 years old. He was in his 60s at the time. In 2022, Dixon was charged with several felonies for crimes related to sexually assaulting a child. But about a week before his last court appearance, the victim's parents were told Dixon's charges would be dropped.
Why would anybody want to come out and say that they've been abused if they know that the system is going to fail them?
After 6 evaluations and hundreds of attempts to improve his mental health, a doctor determined Dixon is permanently incompetent, mentally unfit to stand trial. The judge says the doctor's report cited a minor neurocognitive disorder, typically seen in people diagnosed with dementia. Dixon, the man who originally turned himself in and, according to this affidavit, admitted to assaulting a little girl, walked out of the Jefferson County Courthouse last week, facing no legal consequences.
Mr. Dixon, my name's Natalie Chuck. I'm an investigative reporter with Denver 7.
He spoke with us briefly after the case was dismissed.
All I want to do is tell him I'm very sorry to the victim. I didn't need to do it.
Do you feel like it's fair that the case was dismissed?
I'm not sure.
Is this a community safety problem?
Absolutely.
Alexis King is the district attorney overseeing Jefferson County. It's not the first time we've talked about Colorado's competency law. In fact, she was the first district attorney to voice her concerns to me after the case against a man accused of trying to murder a Lakewood doctor was thrown out. Since then, Denver 7 Investigates has spoken with victims in more than half a dozen cases involving violent crimes that never went to trial.
The fact is that they changed the law. They didn't worry about the funding at the time, and here we are. You don't agree?
Well, no, and I think this is actually a good example.
State Senator Judy Amabile was a main sponsor of House Bill 24-1034. It amended Colorado law, which now says the court shall dismiss cases if a defendant is found incompetent to go to trial and not likely to get better. Previously, the law said the court may dismiss these cases.
Prior to the bill that we passed in 2024, they would make this determination that the person is unlikely to be restored, and 9 times out of 10, the charges would be dropped.
Well, when they change a phrase from may dismiss to shall dismiss, that is a law change. It binds the hands of the judges who hear these matters. The reality is that these cases are being dismissed based on what that law says.
DA King mentioned that no additional funding was allocated for resources when the law changed. Governor Jared Polis now trying to fix that. His new budget proposal requests more than $70 million over the next 3 fiscal years be dedicated to ensuring supervision and facilities are available for people found incompetent to stand trial.
We are really working hard on legislation that will help in a situation like this, but obviously the harm has been done.
Do you think lawmakers would be taking a second look at this if it hadn't been for all of the media attention?
I hope they would regardless, because it's a part of our law that is clearly not working. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I think all Coloradans feel like they pay taxes so that systems like this work. We really have to put our money where our mouth is.
State lawmakers will decide how that money should be spent. And these parents have questions for them to consider before reaching a conclusion.
How would you feel if someone came to you saying, you know what, we understand what happened, we understand the horrific crime that has happened to your family, but there's nothing we can do?
No matter the answers, they know that in their case, nothing will change, that Robert Dixon is a free man.
We're here today because That's not okay. And excuse me. I'm not gonna let it be okay because my daughter deserves a fight.